Hi friends, this is Vicki with Gramma Vicki Crafts. And this is the cutest little tree ornament. My grandson, who is 9, he and I made this the other day. Now, I just thought this was so cute that I wanted to share how we went about making this little guy. And he's just made out of cardboard, just a piece of cardboard and a little bit of paint and some mop pieces from a Dollar Tree mop head, something for the hat, which he used on this one, the little tree skirt, and just remnant pieces of the little tree skirt that you can buy from the Dollar Tree. So we're going to go, and some paint and a little ball for the nose. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not going to make it exactly like he made it, but I'm going to make 2 different styles, but along the same line as what he has done. So let's get started. So to get started with this cute project, all you need was a piece of cardboard. Anything will work, cereal box. This happened to be out of a pizza, just a store-bought pizza that was sitting on this. Then I used just a tin can. This was a can of cream corn, and I just traced the circle all around, as many as you want, as many as you'd like to make. And then I cut out the circles. So this is what we're going to start with. And then I have just some acrylic paint in a flesh color, and that's what I'm going to use. Give it a shake, and I'm going to paint just on the little cardboard, and this is going to be for his face. So we're going to paint this. It doesn't matter that the back is painted, but you might want to let it dry and give it a second coat, depending on what you're painting over. So that's what I'm going to do for now. So I'm painting these, and I'll let them dry. So what I'm using for my first little Santa is a remnant piece of homespun that I have coffee dyed. Now I've also taken a piece of this fiber, what is this called? Super soft microfiber cloth from the Dollar Tree, just a piece of it. And I have also coffee stained this, and all I did was I just took leftover coffee on a little paintbrush and just painted that on down there, and then I just left it to dry, or you could use your hair dryer if you wanted it to dry up a little faster. So what I'm going to do with this piece is I'm going to hot glue that on top of the bottom for my trim for Santa. So now how I arrived at how much material I need for the Santa's hat is I took my little round circle, I laid him down as to where I thought his hat was going to be, and then I folded the material over like so, and it just overlaps a wee bit in the back, and I'm going to hot glue that all the way up, but not until I get the little brim on. So I'm going to go ahead first and hot glue my little brim on. So I now have the microfiber cloth glued on to the brim of his hat. So now we can put his little hat on, and then we'll be able to glue it like so, and then I'll be able to also glue up the back. So now I've also got these little marks on here. You probably can't see that, but when I had his hat on, I just used my pencil and put 2 little dots where I want to put his eyes. For his eyes, I'm going to use the end of this sponge brush, just the circle end part. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first, and then I'm going to glue his hat down. Okay, so I'm going to put my paintbrush just in the paint that's in the lid of my paint cap. Then I'm just gonna, I have a paper here, and I'm just gonna dot off quite a bit of that, and I'm going to just dot his eyes on. And we'll see how this goes. So there's my Santa's eyes. Now I'm going to wait till that dries, and I'm going to put little white dots on, but in the meantime I can put his hat on. So here he is. He's going to be with his little hat glued on. So I have his little hat glued down, and I've glued part way on the back there. So now I'm just going to take just a little bit. This might even be too much, I'm not sure, but I'll try. And we'll just put this down in here just to puff up his hat just a little bit. And I think that looks pretty good. So that just gives it a little bit of puff right there. So now I'm going to take my piece of jute string, and I'm just going to tie this off in a little knot. And then I'm going to cut the ends off, but I'm just going to bring this down now, like so. And this is going to be this little Santa hat. Like so. So now I'm going to carry on, and I have a little bead for his nose, and I'm going to string a piece of the mop into his nose, and I think I'll probably have to separate this because I think 4 strands of this mop will be too thick to go through his nose. So I also forgot to mention that I did paint his nose the same color as his face as well. So now all you have to do with this mop is get a little point on the end of those 2 strands, and just make sure you're twisting it in the same direction as what the mop is twisted together. And then just twist, 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 and it will come through the little hole on the end here. And there we have it. So now that's going to be the nose, and this will be the start of his little mustache. So I'm going to start gluing on Santa's beard. Now I'm going to glue this all on, and then I'm going to use my coffee, and I'm going to coffee stain this as well, because this is going to be more of our little primitive Santa. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with my mop, and I'm going to just place it underneath the hat just a wee bit to get it started. And so I'm going to glue right there, and that's going to get us started underneath the little hat there. And then what you want to do is you want to bring it back and forth and glue it as close to the bottom edge here as you can. So that's just going to go back and forth, and we'll glue it there. and keep it close together, back and forth, and we'll glue it there. Then when we're all done, we're going to unravel all these little ends, and then if it's too long, we can always trim it and shape it at the end. So this is what the first row will look like, and then you can just go through your loops and cut them so that they're all cut. And you'll see that they're not at all even yet, but that's going to change. But first of all, I think now my grandson only did the one row of beard on, or of, yes, of the beard on his, but I'm going to do two. I'm going to start again at the top and come around real close to this first row there. So here's this Santa with the two rows of his beard. So now I'm just going to cut these off, open, and that's what he's looking like so far. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to trim him up some and open up all the strands of his little beard. So here's Santa so far. And now for his little nose and his mustache. So I'm going to go ahead and glue his nose on there. And then we'll put some more of the mop pieces around his nose area. So there's his nose. And now we'll just add a few more pieces of the mop around to fill in to make him a better mustache. So now he's got his mustache on. So now he just needs the little whites of his eyes, and I'm going to take just the tippy end of my small brush here and dip it in the white paint, and I'm just going to give him some little eyeballs there. So there's his little eyeballs, and now I'm just going to take a toothpick and I'm just going to put just a little mark just at the top sort of circle part of his black eyes there, and hopefully that turns out the way I want it to here. And there it is. So now I'm going to work on his hat, and I think what I've decided to do is I'm going to use this little red bell and I'm going to tie it on to the cord here that I kept. I'm just going to tie that on to his hat there, and then I'm going to pull down the rest of the material. Like so. Then I'll trim off the excess jute rope. Then I'm going to bring down this material and I'm just going to hot glue that down onto there. So I think all that's left now for Santa is a little bit of blush. So I have a Q-tip and I have a little bit of blush, and I'm just going to put a little on his nose and a little just on his cheeks. And I think that this is going to be a cute Santa. Plus I will be making his beard coffee stained as well. So I have my little brush and I have a little dish of my leftover coffee, and I'm just going to go through and just darken up all the little white strands, making them as dark as you like, or not at all if you'd rather not. But I think this is going to be just a cute, little bit different, primitive Santa. You might not want to make it too wet because it will take a little while to dry. And then you'll have to go around and do the back a little bit too. But that's what he's looking like right now. So while my Santa stained beard is drying, I'm going to go ahead and work on the second one. Now this Santa, he's going to be kind of fancy. This is a piece of velveteen, and I've gone ahead and I've glued on my piece of the white fleece on there as well. Now I've got my little piece for his head. He's all painted up, and I'm going to put that on and measure and see where I want his eyes to go. So I'll just set his hat on approximately where, and I'm going to take my pencil again and just mark about where I want his little eyes to be on here. So I've got that. So now I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to hot glue my hat piece down onto the back of this Santa. And again, I have another little piece of fiber fill. So I'll stick that down in here as well, just to give that a little bit of a poof at the top of his hat there as well. There, and I think that looks kind of cute. Can play around with that for a while. And then I'm also going to bring this down also to the corner and tack that down onto his hat right there. So I have his hat on and I have it tacked down on the side. So now for his eyes, and again, I'm going to use the end of this sponge brush and my black paint, and I'm just going to daub it in and then daub it off on a piece of paper and then put it where I put my little marks. And there's his little eyes. So again, I've gone ahead and I've painted his nose. So he's ready, the nose is ready to go on when I'm ready for the nose. So now we'll let the eyes dry and then we're going to work on the beard. So I have my first row of this Santa's beard on, and now I'm going to go ahead and do the same. I'm going to give him another little row. So now I did his beard just a little bit different. I just used the two strands. The two strands went into his nose, of course, and then I used another two strand underneath the nose and the third one underneath that one. And I just brought them up and kind of made them into a little bit of a curl. And I haven't unwound all of the Santa's beard on this one either. And I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Might need a little more trimming on the sides. But other than that, I think that's looking pretty cute. And now I'm going to do his eyes. Same way with the end of my paintbrush, the tip end of my paintbrush. And I'm going to do his blush on his cheeks as well with my makeup. So here's our finished little Santa. And I just put a little decoration on his hat, something that I had in my stash. And I gave him some little eyebrows. You can maybe see that up there, just with my toothpick and some white paint. And I gave him some little dots on his cheek and on his nose with my toothpick as well. And I thought that that was kind of cute, something different. So there you have it, the two different Santas that I made just now this afternoon, and the one that my grandson had made the other day that inspired me to put this on video. So there we have it. So there's lots of ideas to do with something like this. Like me, I put a hanger on the back of these and I'm going to hang them on my tree. But you could put a little magnet on the back and use them for a little fridge magnet. This is something that you can do for yourself or with your grandchildren if they'd like to do something, and maybe give it as a little gift to mom or dad. So if this is an idea you'd like to try, I really hope you will. And until next time, please like, share with your friends, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and always remember to be kind. And thanks so much for watching. Bye now.